I've seen the movie 3 times. I couldn't sing you that song. It's that unmemorable.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So it's like it's a shame they didn't put like a really great like banger of a musical number in there where you walk out and you're like, hey, that musical number, it's still running in your head, but it's a shame.
Well, no, you can feel like Kamala's getting hype for music, and nothing happens.
Oh yeah, she was Kamala was
You
good.
almost feel bad for. I mean, she was the highlight, but like I said, it just I couldn't finish it. I'll get back to it, but like
we have
the same thing with Wakanda too. I mean, that one I didn't. Yeah.
That one grew on me. I like it. I love it now.
It's still a struggle for me to get through.
So here's some good news. More good news. Now I know lots of people to set this story. Lots of people still have issues with the Academy Awards for various reasons. Some
I have a bunch of them right now.
Yeah. One of mine is that I think stunt actors should be recognized, but they have added a new category. Yes, it's not stunts, but it's something. I think it's a good category to have. First new Oscar category in over 20 years, but it's still not for stunts. So what is it? Announced today that they will be presenting a new Oscar category, the first in over 20 years. The new award will recognize achievement in casting. It will be first presented during the 2026 Oscar ceremony.
Then Marvel's gonna win a bunch of that. It may be DC as well.
No, but people right away were saying James Gunn with Superman Legacy.
I mean, yeah, of course.
It's going to be
that's probably going to win one. Yeah.
So if it's 2026, it releases 2025. That probably would be.
Yeah, it will be eligible to get that award.
I think it's. But let's go around. We don't need to read more of this. What do we think about that? For this little clip out, what do you think about that new category? And if you have any issues with the Academy still, or what category you would like to see? Let's start with you, Joe. I think it's a cool category. There's probably more that I would put ahead of that, but I think casting is really can make or break a movie. I think James Gunn does some of the best casting. Honestly, everyone thinks I'm a Gunn hater. No, I think he's one of the best casting. He does some really interesting casting. What's your thoughts about the new category, Joe?
Yeah, no, it's a good idea.
Good idea. Is there any other category you'd like? I still really want stunt work, especially now that I'm getting back at the VHS. I love practical effects.
Well, that would be
people put their lives, they risk it for entertainment into authenticity.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. But John Campea did bring up today again. He's brought it up before a problem with the stunt category, and that's. It would be really hard for Academy voters to vote on, because unless you're on set or part of the stunt team, you may not even know what's a stunt. Like things that look so fluid on screen, you may not even recognize that as a stunt because it just seems so natural. So it kind of becomes a tough thing to vote on.
Okay. I kind of just, I don't see that point myself, but okay. Talati, what do you think of the new category for the Academy Awards? Are you interested in all of the Academy Awards? Like, would this get you back, or do what do you think should be a category?
I'm not really that much invested in the academies.
Yeah, I think they lost a lot of people.
Yeah, they lost a lot of people. The only way they'll get me back if the category is something worthwhile. Right.
Well, I actually was really hyped for when they were going to do I don't remember the titling was kind of awkward, but they were like doing best popular movie. I think that was
the best. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And they took it away. I think they should have done that.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
Yeah, they took it away because everybody from the Oscars complain about it. So you know how they are. When the comedy complains about it, and actors and stuff
but it just makes them seem even more so pretentious and out of touch with their audience that pays money to keep the industry going. That they don't want to the art of making something that's good and still reach mass level should be awarded. I think
that feels like a participation trophy, though. Like, this movie made money, so we're going to give it an award.
No, not just money.
I mean, if it's that good, then shouldn't it not be nominated for Best Picture?
Well, they've notoriously snubbed a lot of genre films,
and
nerd culture films.
And that's
it's not. Yeah.
Right. So that's why I say it would be a participation trophy. They're basically
okay.
saying we don't really think this is good enough to give it a best picture. Now, whether you think they're out of touch or not, that's basically what they're saying. They're saying we're going to nominate this because we know people like it, but we don't really think it's that good. It's kind of what they do with the best animated feature. It's like, if it's that good, why isn't it up for best picture? Why can't Toy Story 3 or like why these movies, they should be best picture, not best animated picture?
Because it's not art. It's not art. Okay. Art, but like it's not art. You know?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, Brian.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Break it down.
I understand, like the Academy doesn't view animation as cinema. You know, like
exactly.
How
it's not
how,
cinema.
how,
it's not high art.
It's not high. Like that's what even Guillermo del Toro even it says animation is cinema, but the Academy doesn't view it as that. That's the reason when you see like Beauty and the Beast win one, Toy Story win one. Ever since that, animation has not won in a long time. Like bad picture and stuff like that. So it's very rare.
I want to get to DL's take. DL, what do you think? Do you even care about the Academy Awards? Is this interesting to you? What do you think a category that they need to represent at the Academy Awards, DL?
Best casting is fine. I don't have a problem with that as a new category. I also would like to see stunt work as well. That would be an interesting category. To be very honest with you, I have little investment in the Academy.
That's fair.
I feel like they are extremely out of touch, and I feel like their grading and category system is very flawed. There's only 3 things for me that would actually make me care about the Oscars more. 1, acknowledge animated films as cinema, and they should be nominated within the same category as best
I agree
films, because that has happened before.
There's still a stigma against animation. Yes.
And I don't care what anybody says. Crazy Joe will vehemently disagree. I really don't care. Across the Spider-Verse should have been nominated for best film along with the other stuff. 2, they need to stop having whatever. There's bias. There's a bias against genre films. They need to stop that. They need to stop that. It's insane how they keep ignoring genre films. Shin Godzilla should also be nominated for best film, but it's not. And number 3, they need to give Andy Serkis an achievement award or something, because he has not won one thing in his career, one Oscar in his career, and it is one of the biggest
best mocap.
Yes, one of the biggest crimes that the freaking Academy has done. That's just a personal thing for me, because I love Andy Serkis so much, and he deserves a bunch of awards. That's another thing. Motion capture should be acknowledged as acting as well.
Yes.
And they don't do that. So that's the only 3 things that will actually make me more invested in the Oscars. But up until this point, it's just another thing. I've seen other snubs this year that, they have.
Margot Robbie, I feel you, DL. I feel you.
No, I don't agree with that. Greta Gerwig, the director. Greta Gerwig being nominated, I see that. Color Purple got snubbed for best film. There's other actors in that movie that got snubbed for best actor and actress. I could go on and on and on, but yeah. So,
all right, Rhea, let's talk about this Academy Awards new category. Do you watch them anymore? Do you have any interest? Of course, we want entertainers to be awarded for excellence. What's your thoughts on Academy Awards as a whole, this new category, and something that you'd want to see the Academy focus on to maybe get some people back and award more people?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't watch the awards show. I kind of catch the highlights on Twitter.
That's fair. I think a lot of people do that now. Yeah.
Yeah. So my personal opinion of the Oscars or Academy Awards, whatever, I feel like, it's a dated sort of, metric system that is kind of obscured by, possibly outdated, performance standards as far as like what is considered, quote unquote good or worthy of this public recognition. I think it's been put on a pedestal for too long. It's irritating to me to see that that's sort of like the pinnacle of, reverence that an actor can receive in order to sort of quote unquote validate their, their legacy. I don't agree with that. I know it's not true for a lot of folks. Like to DL's point, there's a lot of actors and capable, movie contributors, cinematic, excellence that has never been awarded yet will have a stronger legacy than a lot of Oscar winners may have. So one could argue that too. So yes, the relevance and the sort of oblique, if not like, sort of like foggy, system of like how the Academy even chooses who's nominated and what categories are even, still, in like, the in the decision process. I also feel like there is like a legacy panel of folks that are present that make these decisions that may or may not be tied into, like the relevance of the landscape of filmmaking currently. So there are, some things that make me really just not care too much about who's nominated, other than sort of like that sigh of like, well, this is the only way we can, celebrate, the actors that, or like talent, I should say, like, filmmaking talent as of right now. Like that's something that by and large, sort of, is the mantelpiece for a lot of talent. So if it's significant to them, I will respect that. Although me personally, I'm frustrated that has to be, the that, like I said, the pinnacle of success for a lot of people.
Cool. Thanks for giving your thoughts. And this brought perp to the stream. The Oscar talk brings the perp to the
also,
stream.
one more thing.
I love Oscar
I
I love it.
One more thing I would say.
I'm only going to be here for a short while.
I would love if the Academy adds best voice acting. That would be a dope thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's been so many great voice actors in the last 20 or 30 years and for animation that has never been recognized.
Yeah, we could have had, what's the Batman?
Kevin Conroy?
Kevin Conroy, yeah.
Yeah, he would have won a ton of awards for that. Mark Hamill as well as the Joker. Like,
the legend, Frank Welker.
Yep, maybe. That would have been dope to see. And also, motion capture, I agree with Dia right there. Motion capture has his own thing, because it's the same as the gaming industry. They do mocap and they get also real actors for that as well. So I agree with that. They should do that as well.
And see, they would consider those if they didn't see animation as second-class citizens.
Yeah, like a second class. Like
I think that's
okay. Well, what do you think about prosthetics? What about why motion capture? Here's
that part of costume work. Is that part of costume work?
No, prosthetic makeup. Like, let's say the guy from Pan's Labyrinth. Why wasn't he nominated for best actor in prosthetic makeup or in full prosthetic makeup?
That's not even a category either. That could be another thing.
Yeah, that's why they don't do that stuff, though. Is what I'm saying.
I know, but
like it gets too complicated with all that stuff, especially with
too many categories. You're thinking?
I can kind of agree with Perp in that, like, in the same way that animations, kind of like, all in one genre, visual effects should be kind of parsed out into, maybe practical effects versus, computer graphics.
And I think what happens here is that they saw their mess up with something like visual effects, right? Because there's different types of like jobs within this visual effects, right? You have the animators and you have like the compositing, all this stuff, right? And with the stunt work specifically, there's so many different like units and part to stunt work. It's like you just can't give it the best stunt because there's like whole teams. There's different specialties with driving, with falling, fighting. Like that fighting is not like stunt work, like it's its own thing. Fight choreography, right? They have a stunt team that they work with, but that's something else. So it's like to put all that stuff in there. They realize now, because back when they were doing these awards, of course they didn't think about, like, it was just easier. They were like, they weren't really thinking about it. So, and we happen to keep these awards as a legacy thing because this is the Academy Awards. But now, like, we're more modern, like, mind frame. We just like, actually, it's a little more complicated. You really break it down. and they're trying to adjust with like putting as many nominations. And I think that would be my thing of how to change. Can I do my change? How to change the Academy Awards? Like my critique.
Yes.
Okay. So number one, we need to get out of the TV broadcasting. If you want to do that, fine. But it's time to start like streaming on the internet. I think that could be.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think they don't do that at all.
There's a lot of
they don't do that at
able
all.
to watch.
They could still do the TV, but I think they need to have an Oscar stream. Okay, I think that will engage a little bit.
Maybe have new categories for the streaming part only.
Sure, whatever. But I think that'll engage younger audiences a little bit more. Now, it's not going to be mind blowing.
I'm with Anthony. I like MTV Movie Awards. Remember when Spider-Man won Best Kiss?
Oh,
That's
that was
fun.
funny. Yeah.
I actually really like Perp's idea that just flashed in my brain. Like Netflix could have its own award show, like, best Netflix show of the year or something like that, or best this, best that. They could really do it. Like, that's a great idea.
I think with people now, people love rooting and putting themselves into movies. And I think that's what a good, healthy award show sort of does is like you get to root for your movie and hopefully get to explore other movies.
How about this? Maybe some amazing underrated YouTuber that has some really great and prolific ideas creates an award show and calls it Fandom Awards and then brings all the fans together.
If they're not lazy and actually do it, that's a great idea.
No, I did do it.
You did? Okay.
Yes, but it didn't go over well.
That was a fun year.
That was a fun year. There was many issues that arose. That's all. People said, don't do it again.
Okay.
Okay,
and now let me continue, please.
Yes.
I have critiques. Okay. So I think this will alleviate everyone's basic problem is just open up the nominations a little bit more like you do with Best Picture. It shouldn't just be 5. Why are you doing 5 for director if you got 10 Best Pictures, right? Like do 10 directors or do it however, like do 7 if you want. Like some years they don't do 10 Best Pictures, they do like 9 or something, right? Or they do like 7 or something. After the Dark Knight fiasco. But if you just open that up for every other category, I think then you wouldn't have weird stuff like who directed Barbie? Like that movie had no director to be recognized. Like, stuff like that would be missed. I don't know why the Academy is doing the 10 Best Pictures and then leaving everything else very stilted.
I would like to quickly just interject and remind everyone that I did win Best Panelist at the Fandom Awards. So
congrats!
Because you
know what? I'm inspired. Maybe I'll bring it back and we'll compete with the Oscars that night, and we'll include categories that were in this very clip out.
Can we call them the Maxis?
The Maxis.
Maximum Maxis.
Yes, we call it the Maxis.
We'll see.
Are you nominated for a Maxi? Come on down to our pad. Find out.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for all including. Do you have anything else to say, Perp, on this topic?
No, that basically about covers it. I just want to say personally, I do like the Oscars. Like this year specifically, man.
This year was bad.
Wait. Pause.
No, this year was
pause. Perp. Hold on.
Hi and hello, Oscar apologists.
No, what are you talking about? I'm alone here.
I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna be straight up and say it. Okay, the only thing that gave the Oscars any relevancy in the last 5 years was.
Oh no!
There's nothing else on TV.
That is true. I think
that was the
sad
sad
point.
point.
I'm
was
dead
a sad
serious.
Point.
I'm sure it was, but I'm telling you right now, that was the only thing that got people somewhat interested in the Oscars in the last 20 years.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, that
it is what it is, but I'm just saying.
Terrible.
I didn't like that everyone clapped for him afterwards when he won. But whatever.
But that was that has to be the most.
That's another Oscar critique. Don't do that again.
Oscar history. But that is true because every year for the rating for the Oscars go down, and when Will Smith did that,
that's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. And when Will did that, it went up. I was like, damn.
Yeah, but why don't people care? Because
it's a
terrible
very good thing.
We just,
we got to get from players' take. We got to get from players' take.
Yeah, no, I don't want to rehash what it is. You know what my views are. They've just.
What are they?
No, I don't.
I want to fight
out of touch. They need more categories.
Like that Hall & Oates song.
They're
out of touch.
Yeah, their award, the way they give the awards, the stuff they nominate is just all bogus.
No, but you guys just aren't interested in those type of movies. Like I saw the movies; they're absolutely fantastic this year.
No.
Yes.
This year I haven't seen all the Oscar movies. I used to watch every Oscar-nominated film.
You're just not interested in those type of movies, and you're asking kind of the Oscars like, put my nerd movies in there.
I grew up watching the Oscars with my family. My wife and her girlfriends used to do Oscar parties. People have just lost interest in it a lot. A lot of people.
I know it used to be a thing.
I understand that,
like
but they're still like, just because of that, they're not going to placate to an audience. They're still going to be looking for the best movies of the year, not the best movies everyone.
Although the Emma Stone movie,
I do agree with Perp that to an extent that I will agree that the Academy Awards, one of its purposes of existence should be to acknowledge films that are progressive in the art of cinematic storytelling and maybe again, like, you know, cinematography, character design, narrative, celebrating filmmakers and the team behind them that move the needle and push cinema forward as, you know, an art form. So I think that maybe was the core intention, but I think what a lot of us are criticizing is what it has become, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. It was started to really award excellence, the top, and to make something groundbreaking.
Yeah, it is like, don't get me wrong, I'm not asking the Oscars to nominate all my nerdy films that
I am.
Gotcha. That was at you, DL.
That's what I am.
I knew you always throwing shots at me.
Always throwing shots at DL. I love
but
you, DL.
It is clear. Yeah, I know. But like we've seen before the internet was even a thing, it was possible for genre films to be nominated. So why are they stopping now? Do y'all remember when movies like Toy Story 3 and The Dark Knight were nominated at the Oscars?
Dark Knight wasn't nominated.
That was amazing. It was.
No, Dark Knight was not nominated. It did something bigger. It changed the nomination process because people thought it was snubbed, and there was such an outcry.
Because of Heath Ledger. Because of Heath Ledger. That's what I was getting.
Oh, Heath Ledger's performance, correct. He did win.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from in any way, shape, or form, whether it's film, whether it's actor, whether it's blah blah blah, there was a time where animated films and comic book films or genre films were
Joaquin just won for Joker.
But that's few and far between still.
I feel that people should see the other movies before they make those claims like, yeah, you should put this one in there.
I'm gonna tell you what animation movie,
because you're asking, like, so then take one out, I guess.
I'm gonna tell you what animation
holdovers.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what animation movie
we want Spider-Verse in there.
George Miller, Happy Feet. What else? Inside Out.
Why do you have to take one out? Anyone? It just had another one
Coco. And yeah, ever since that, animation has now won ever since, which is like very interesting. But you know,
I think they'll do it. I think the Academy will do it. Like they nominated Beauty and the Beast because that was to them that was an exceptional animated film.
Again, when did Beauty and the Beast come out?
93, sorry.
Was it 92? It might have been 92.
Again,
it might have been Aladdin. It might have been.
Which again, saying few and far between. That's what I am saying.
Because that's when the animated movies, that's when the comic book movies are actually stepping up.
So are you telling me over this past 25 years, there's only been 2 or 3 animated films worthy of being nominated for an Oscar?
I can't speak. I haven't seen the animated movies, but I can tell you I haven't been interested in them.
Okay.
Into the Spider-Verse was great. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Citizens.
That one's amazing.
Class Citizens.
And even I said, of course, I will say there was this. I felt the Ninja Turtles did get snubbed this year for best animated. I will say that, but at the same time, I never think like we need to change the whole system because of it. It's just like, it's a snub, whatever.
And also, like the Oscars always change for the last 20 years for what, like they always change their mind on anything that is good for them. Other than that, I mean, I'll be whenever this new stuff comes out in 2026, the best cast ever. It's definitely gonna be a bunch. Either it's gonna be DC, or it's gonna be Marvel, or it's gonna be, or it's gonna be a whole different movie that nobody ever heard.
The problem is that the award shows that tend to have more relevance these days are like the Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Teen Choice Awards.
Yeah, the kids go crazy because of that. I've seen it on social media, in Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and sometimes on TikTok. But yeah, so yeah.
No, but
I still like
was
it.
Dune? Did
But
Dune
here's
get
the
any
thing, though,
nominations last time?
Yeah.
Yes, we got Best Picture nomination. So the
Dune
movies do
2.
get like nerd, quote unquote, nerd movies do get nominated all the time and stuff. Like, you know,
Not all
Best
the
Picture,
time.
but they,
Not
I mean,
all the
because,
time.
but they're the exceptional ones do. The exceptional ones do. I think, and that's what the
It's
Academy
like-
should be doing.
Here's another thing. I don't even like this movie, but Blade Runner 2049. Why was that not nominated?
Yeah, that was a snub. I like that better than Dune. Yeah, I'm with you with that, but that's just a snub to me. I don't, you know.
I walked out of Blade Runner 2042.
Yeah, I
God
walked out
damn.
happy and absolutely dazzled. Right, Crazy Joe?
You know,
That's what you were
Amazon
saying,
is making
right?
a
You walked out of
About halfway through the movie, I realized I'd sat halfway through the movie and I still didn't know the name of the main character. And I'm like, well,
Mr.
if I'm
Blade
that
Runner.
if I'm that disinterested that I haven't even picked up on the character's name yet.
Have you seen?
That's
all
the point of
have
the
you
movie.
seen-
Even the
have
characters
you
didn't
seen
even know
all
what
the
his real
cuts
name
of the
I
original
do
movie?
want to cover more perp. I'm sorry to cut off, but I have to get to the good news of Twitter.
I
A
mean, for
really
sure, for
All
sure.
right,
popular
well, I'm gonna head
segment.
out.
Yeah, whatever.
This is an awesome conversation.
A+ segment.
We'll have to
C
have
minus.
a whole stream dedicated to the Oscars perp.